This is part 2 of how I teach Mahjong to someone who is sitting down at my table for the very first time. So they've never played before, and they are eager to learn. But I forgot to mention in my last post is this is a really great book. I heard about it from another Seattle Mahjong person who definitely knows way more Mahjong than I do. She's teaching a 101 series on TikTok. I will tag her. Her name is Pepper. She's really great because she definitely knows her stuff. I am still a newbie, but a newbie teaching newbies is like a nice way to get people in. But this book is great, and I highly recommend it. And like, check out this, like, really good illustrations. She makes it really clear, and then there's history in here. But it's also laid out in such a way that if you want to just jump to learning the rules, like, it's easy to find. You don't need to read the history part, or you can go back and read the history part later. So anyway, highly recommend. But to the game. So we learned about you need to make 4 sets and a pair to get Mahjong, and then we were just saying that person is the winner. We're not doing any points. Okay? So I have my sets laid out, and let's pretend that I am player number 2. So the first player had 14 tiles, and they have just discarded this. It is a 4 bamboo. The way it works is there's sort of like a decision tree. So I'm naturally the next player. However, it can skip me if someone can immediately put this into their hand and show and make a set. Wait, pause. I forgot to mention, when I play with someone who's ever played before, we play open-handed. So everyone gets to see everyone's tiles. I am a huge advocate for playing this way. So you can talk through what choices you're making, and then you can also see what other people have on their hand. And it's just like a really good way to learn the game really quickly, I think, if you've got a lot more things going on that you can look at and talk about. But anyway, the decision tree. So the first tile is discarded into the middle. Now, either if no one can use this tile immediately to make a set, then the turn goes to me, and I will take something blind out of the bag or the wall when we get there. But right now we're taking it from the bag. However, if someone can use this, they say like, yep, I can use this, and they say what they can use it in. So pretend I didn't have this tile. Pretend this was my hand, actually. Okay. Wait, no, this was my hand. Okay, pretend this was my hand. Oh, that 4 is awesome. Yes, I would like that tile because I can use it in a run or a chow of 4, 5, 6. Ta-da! What happens, though, if more than one person wants it? It kind of goes to whoever can make the most points. But I'm going to say, and this is the way we played with my group at the very beginning, it's kind of just whoever calls it first. Then, since I took that tile, now I've got too many tiles in my hand, so I have to discard one. So I'm going to discard this one. And then play kind of goes around the table like that. And then maybe say, like, oh, and this is the only time. So if no one takes it in the very next turn, no one can ever take that tile. It is kind of like done and dusted. You keep them in the middle of the table up so that people kind of can start to like count cards a little bit. Like, so if there are 3 of these 8 bamboos in the middle of the table, you're probably not going to be able to make 3 of a kind with these 8 bamboos because you can't use them. Does that make sense? So play continues like this. Oh, look, someone discarded this lovely dragon, and I have 2 dragons already, so I get to declare it. I say I'm using it for my dragons, and everyone's like, yay, you're awesome. And then play just kind of continues in that fashion until someone finally has 4 sets in a pair. So I'm going to cheat and just pick through the bag and make 4 sets. Hold on. Actually, wait, before I do that, I want to just like drill home the concept of like you can only pick the tile up if you can immediately make a set. So let's say that someone just played this 3 dots down, and it's my turn next. I have a 3 dot, but I can't pick it up because I can't immediately make a set, and you cannot take this just to make a pair. Does that make sense? So the only time you can take this is if you can make a set of 3 or more. Unless it's the very, very, very last part of the game, and all you need is this final tile to make your pair to end the game. Does that make sense? Anyway, back to finishing the game. Okay, so pretend that we had went around the table a lot of times, and sometimes I was picking up from the middle, and sometimes I was picking up from the bag. But this is what I ended with, and I yelled, "Sook! Sook! Mahjong!" I had a set of 3 9s. Ooh, can you see that? And then I had my 4 5 6, which we talked about earlier, and I had my 3 dragons, which I showed you earlier. And then I also found myself having 3 2s, happy days, and I had a pair of 1 bamboo, the little birdie. And that's how the game goes. And honestly, I think you can play this way a couple of times just to start to get the hang of it. And then you can start to layer on some of the more nuanced rules.